Hello, you're very welcome to Storytime with Elga here from the Community Library. It's lovely to have your company and I hope you're all looking after yourselves. Well, you know, in your own selection of books at home, I always say it's lovely to have a whole variety of books, different types of books, and a collection of nursery rhymes and of course fairy tales as well. And that's what we're going to look at today. We've a lovely fairy tale today by a wonderful storyteller, a real artist, and that is Christian Andersen. Now he's written many fairy tales, but one of my favourite is the one that we're going to look at today, and it's just a privilege to share this book, and it's called The Ugly Duckling. And there we can see on the front cover The Ugly Duckling. And there have been so many different picture book versions. This particular one is by Ian Beck of the Christian Andersen original story, The Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time, there was a mother duck who had 7 little ducklings. 6 of them were soft and fluffy and yellow and said, "Quack." The 7th duckling was quite different. He was grey and spiky and had a long neck and could only say, "Honk." Oh dear. The other ducklings called him ugly. He tried hard to be liked, but the other ducklings never played with him. Oh. His mother would shake her head. "Quack. Are you sure you are mine?" she said. "Quack. You're a funny sort of duck." One day, they all swam over to visit the ducks on the other side of the river. The ugly duckling, as always, followed far behind. The other big ducks hissed and pecked at him. "Go away," they quacked. "We don't like you. You're not much of a duck." But honk was all the sad little duckling could say. Oh. That night, as the other ducks slept, the ugly duckling swam far away and hid in some reeds by a pond. "Honk. No one wants me," he sniffed. An old cat came prowling along. "Meow. What sort of bird are you?" she asked. "I'm a duckling, honk," replied the ugly duckling. Meow. Funny sort of duck," said the cat, and she crept off to hunt for mice. The weather grew colder, but the ugly duckling stayed all alone by the little pond. There's the fox and the ugly duckling. One bright day, he saw some beautiful white birds with long necks flying high overhead. "Honk," he called out to them. "Where are you going?" "Far away south, where it's warm," they called back. "Come, fly with us." Oh, look. The ugly duckling skittered across the water. "Wait for me," he honked. But he wasn't ready to fly yet. And the white birds flew on, far, far away. Oh, look. Oh, he's left behind. He can't fly yet. Before long, winter came. Snow fell, and there was ice on the pond. The ugly duckling had no mother to snuggle up against and keep warm. "Honk," he said to himself. "I'm so unhappy." One bright morning, he woke up to find the snow and ice had melted, and the world was green again. Feeling strong, he tried his wings. They had grown through the winter, and he soared up easily from the pond into the clear blue sky. "Honk!" he cried in excitement. "Honk! Honk!" He flew on over the land, following the shape of the big river in the spring sunshine. Oh, look. Soon the days grew longer and warmer, for summer had come. One day he saw the beautiful white birds again. The ugly duckling flew down and landed near them on the shimmering water. Oh, look. Do you know what these birds are called? White with long necks. "Honk," said the beautiful birds. "Hello, come and swim with us here. There's plenty to eat." And they plunged their long necks into the water. "Honk." "Who, me?" said the ugly duckling. "Swim with you? But I'm just an ugly duckling. No one wants me." Oh. The white birds all laughed. "You're not ugly, and you're not a duckling at all," they said. "You are a young swan, just like us. Look at yourself in the water and you will see." The ugly duckling looked down into the water and saw his own reflection. Oh, look. He can see himself in the water. His feathers were now a brilliant white all over. He had a long neck and a bright gold and black beak. He was a swan, just like the others. Look at those beautiful wings. A young swan. He honked happily. It didn't matter now that he couldn't quack. The swans gathered around him. "Welcome," they said. So, the once ugly duckling, who had grown into a beautiful swan, flew away with the other swans over the blue water and lived happily ever after. Honk, honk. Isn't that just a lovely story about the ugly duckling that just grew to be a beautiful swan with his lovely wings? And that just reminds me of some lovely songs that we can sing, and a most beautiful poem that I'd like to share with you today called The Ugly Duckling. But first, I'm going to ask my very special friend, a little duckling, hello, to come along and share our lovely songs today. What will we sing today? Oh, that's a lovely one. 5 little ducks went swimming one day. Will you help me sing it? That's great. 1, 2, 3. 5 little ducks went swimming one day, over the hills and far away. Mammy duck said, "Quack, quack, come back." And only 4 little ducks came back. 4 little ducks went swimming one day, over the hills and far away. Mammy duck said, "Quack, quack, come back." And only 3 little ducks came back. 3 little ducks went swimming one day, over the hills and far away. Mammy duck said, "Quack, quack, come back." And only 2 little ducks came back. 2 little ducks went swimming one day, over the hills and far away. Mammy duck said, "Quack, quack, come back." And only 1 little duck came back. 1 little duck went swimming one day, over the hills and far away. Mammy duck said, "Quack, quack, come back." And none of her 5 little ducks came back. What did Mammy duck do? Mammy duck went swimming one day, over the hills and far away. Mammy duck said, "Quack, quack, come back." And all of her 5 little ducks came back. Isn't that right? Well done. That's a lovely little song, isn't it? All about the little ducks. And now, will you help me say a lovely poem that's called The Ugly Duckling? Are you ready? Here we go. There once was an ugly duckling, with feathers all stubby and brown. And the other birds said, in so many words, "Get out of town. Get out, get out, get out of town." And he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack, in a flurry of eiderdown. that poor little ugly duckling went wandering far and near, but at every place they said to his face, "Now, get out, get out, get out of here." And he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack and a very unhappy tear. Oh, all through the winter time he hid himself away, ashamed to show his face, afraid of what others would say. All through the winter in his lonely clump of wheat, till a flock of swans spied him there and very soon agreed, "You're a very fine swan indeed." "A swan? Me? A swan? Ah, go on." And he said, "Yes, you're a swan. Take a look at yourself in the lake and you'll see." And he looked and he saw and he said, "I'm a swan. Whee! I'm not such an ugly duckling, no feathers all stubby and brown. For in fact these birds in so many words said, the best in town, the best, the best, the best in town. Not a quack, not a quack, not a waddle or a quack, but a glide and a whistle and a snowy white back and a head so noble and I. Say, who's an ugly duckling? Not I, not I. Isn't that right? Because we all know the ugly duckling grew up to be a beautiful white swan and joined all the swans and flew across the lovely blue sky. Well, that's all we've got time for today. I hope you really enjoyed that lovely story of the ugly duckling. And from myself, Elga, and my lovely friend, our little duckling, will we say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.